When you're out in public or just doing too much, do you find yourself with sweaty palms, some weak knees, or maybe your arms are really heavy and you just might throw up your mom's spaghetti? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I got news for you. You have social anxiety.
Oh, wow.
It's okay. We've all been there. I mean, running to the bathroom because you're about to yourself? I was just there recently. I mean, I was literally just there a few days ago. It was, as you expected, awful. I don't know about y'all, but having major social anxiety is extremely exhausting. I mean, I get overstimulated so easily. I don't even really know why I'm like this. Maybe it's because I grew up in a small town with not a lot of people. I guess I never really learned how to cope in big crowds, or what to do when all of my senses are being overloaded. I mean, it's annoying, but feeling like somebody spit on you, sucked the soul right out of your body, ran you over, and to top it all off, that time of the month came banging on your front door. It's all just very draining. I just really hate it. It literally ruins all my plans. But whenever I get like this, I just need to rest and cry it out or find my comfiest things. Which is exactly what I did. I literally called into work on Monday because I couldn't handle being around people. Anyways, I thought what better way to get over social anxiety than to go ground myself and go touch grass. And by touch grass, I mean jog grass and touch it because I'm too lazy and don't want to leave my house.
But Mac, isn't your yard like right there?
Oh, well, Tom, you make a good point, but I live in Texas.
If y'all couldn't already tell by the amount of times I say y'all.
Tom, the yard's literally covered in stickers. It's dead like 99% of the time. If I walked out there, it'd be like nails on a chalkboard. Or when you touch something, expecting it to be soft, but instead you're left with the ick, desperately needing to touch something else to get the feeling off your hands. You basically got the cheese touch. If that wasn't good enough for you, then like it rained a lot. It's like flooded out there. So going outside to touch grass is not on my to-do list. But you know what is? Making some wonderful pieces of art and talking about how I ended up here in the first place.
I find that art really helps me when I'm feeling anxious, which is super strange but not strange at all. Sometimes making art can cause so much anxiety and you don't even want to pick up any art supplies because the outcome might turn out bad. But when something else happens and you're anxious because of that, all you want to do is sit there alone in a little corner wrapped up in your blanket with some pencils, paper, and markers. I don't know how that sort of maths out, but it does. I honestly think it's because you aren't focused on the end product, but more focused on the process. Really taking your time with a piece and just letting yourself do whatever is super relaxing and freeing. So I think I'm just gonna draw whatever my heart desires and I hope it turns out well. Otherwise, I might feel even worse than I did earlier. Oh well, actually, I'm currently really hungry, so I think I'm actually going to draw whatever my stomach desires and hope it doesn't turn out looking like that cheese from earlier. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go for it. I just know that I want to get better at using alcohol markers and I want the food to look so impossibly yummy. We all know that fried eggs, ramen, and literally any dish containing meat will never taste better than the ones they show in anime. Or no burger will ever be as good as that Krabby Patty. Yes, it's fake, but I promise you, those characters are eating and really experiencing some heavenly food. Sadly, we'll never be able to experience this in our lifetime because we aren't cartoons. And to be honest, I definitely lose sleep over this sometimes. To think I'm going to live my entire life not ever tasting a Krabby Patty. It's crazy. Yes, I know there are fake ones out there in the real world, but it's not the Krabby Patty. It's not made with love from SpongeBob at the Krusty Krab. If you get it, you get it. And if you don't, then you're a psycho. And you deserve a life sentence in prison. Because if I have to die with never satisfying this insatiable craving, then everyone else does too. Remember, we're on this journey together. Anyways, now that I'm even hungrier than I was before, I'm going to take a quick break to eat something, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I'm ready to talk about what happened this weekend that had me calling into work on a Monday and losing out on $200. My bestie is Vietnamese, so her and her family actually celebrate Lunar New Year. I honestly didn't know that much about it, but she really wanted to show me a piece of her culture, and I love learning and experiencing new things. So there were a lot of different events we could have gone to, but we decided to attend the New Year's event at Asia Times Square in the DFW area. When we got there, it was super packed. The packing situation was awful. I don't know about y'all, but parking generates the most anxiety. If I don't know where we're parking or we have to figure out when we get there, then I'm actually going to have a heart attack. Like, I actually might die. Luckily, my bestie was driving, so I thought I was safe from parking anxiety, but no. Even in the passenger seat, I am not safe. So we pulled into this giant parking lot filled with lots and lots of cars and rows and twists and turns, and there was no parking. People were being so rude. Like, I get it. You're upset because you can't find parking. We're all in the same boat. No need to drive around like maniacs throwing a temper tantrum in your car. Literally, everyone was giving each other dirty looks and glares. Bro, like, I'm just trying to park and come for the experience. I thought this was an event to celebrate the new year. Why can't everyone be nice and happy? But somehow we ended up behind the event still trying to find parking, but oh no, that was the biggest mistake we could have made. Imagine this. You're driving down a one-way street going east when 10 other cars drive down the same one-way going west. That was us, except we were behind all of these buildings and in this little alleyway behind the event. You see, if it was any other normal day, it would have been big enough to fit two-way traffic, but if you didn't know, no one gives a f*** anymore. People park their cars where people shouldn't park their cars. They literally parked their cars in the fire lane and were literally blocking the fire hydrants. That's a complete safety hazard. But I guess that's none of my business. But we were literally stuck there for so long and we didn't even move a single inch. We just had a staring contest with the car in front of us. Why did we have a staring contest with the car in front of us, you say? 'Cause no one wanted to back up. Do y'all know how hard it is to get at least 20 cars to decide who's going to back up? We got 10 or more cars behind us and 10 or more cars in front of us. Of course, no one wanted to drive in reverse down this small alley with a bunch of parked cars and obstacles just so all of the other cars can drive normally straight through. Well, why didn't we choose to be the bigger person and back up so that the people in front of us can make it through? Well, you kind of have to rely on the person behind you to also back up. And then they have to make sure the person behind them is also going to back up. So if everyone didn't make the consecutive decision to back up, then no one was backing up, even if you so desperately wanted to. So yeah, this was a show. After dealing with all of that for what felt like hours, my anxiety was through the roof. But we finally escaped the back of the buildings and found parking. So we were finally on our way to making it inside. But of course, since you know, I'm a YouTuber now and I wanted to film and vlog. So that's exactly what I tried to do. Keyword tried. But y'all, I don't film in public. I don't even film around my house unless nobody's home because I live with other family members. Even right now, I'm doing this voiceover in my car. I'm not trying to disturb anyone's peace or have them in the background of a video they don't want to be in. But you know, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I told myself I'm going to grow this year. I'm not going to let fear rule my life anymore. I'm in my delusional era. I'm not going to care what other people think, even if I have to fake it till I make it. So I brought my vlogging camera camera and we made it inside and I said, nope, I can't do this. It's so weird. It's embarrassing. I didn't even manage to pull the camera out of my best friend's bag. I felt like everyone was staring at me and they knew exactly what I was going to do. They were watching me, waiting for me to pull out my camera and shame me for vlogging. I had to take a moment to collect myself. I tried to convince myself it was all in my head and that I was actually crazy and needed to get out my camera because I'm a big girl who is on her way to do big girl things, but I still couldn't take it out. However, when I looked around, everyone had their phone out, so I was like, okay, I'm not strong enough to film with my camera yet, but I'm strong enough to film with my phone. I mean, that's a very normal thing to do, even though I would definitely be the only person with their phone sideways, but it's still normal. So I got out my phone to try and film, and I'm literally shaking. Literally, my palms were sweaty, my knees were weak, and my arms were definitely heavy. I tried my best to film what I could, and it was so hard. Not to mention, while I was filming, my senses were being extremely overloaded. I was in a new place with lots of things I've never seen before. I had people touching every part of my body because it was that crowded. It was super loud, and my nose was being knocked out by the smell of the food. Don't get me wrong, I love me some food, but I was so nervous I felt sick. Not sick, sick. I literally was going to throw up my mom's spaghetti. I don't know who designed this layout, but all the vendors were in this enclosed space. It was a long hallway room thing, trapped with smoke and 1,000 different smells from a bunch of different food and people. There were windows and a section that led outside, but it just was not enough. I personally feel like I definitely lost a couple hours off my lifespan. RIP my lungs. After walking through all that smoke and shoving through people, I was so thirsty. So we got boba. At this point, I realized that I'm only filming the things around me and I haven't actually filmed myself at all. So I thought to myself, what would a normal vlogger do in a moment like this? I had a light bulb moment. The boba stand was also selling tanghulu. I've never had that before, and I know everyone loves it, so maybe I can record myself trying it for the first time. It ended up just being a video of me awkwardly laughing the entire time I was trying to eat it because I was extremely uncomfortable and super anxious. We explored a little more, met this really nice lady in the women's restroom, and then we met some furries on our way out. It was fun, and I'm glad I went, but my adrenaline and shaky hands definitely did not go away. Don't get me wrong, I go to concerts and stuff, but I know what to expect when I go to a concert. I've mentally prepared myself for the event, and if I'm not feeling great, I'll just sell my tickets and go next time. However, I just hate when things are romanticized because that's not how it happened. People make the event look so fun, calm, and peaceful when in actual reality, it was fun, chaotic, and very overstimulating. And I thought I might die from a panic attack. But I'm still very glad I went. And there will be a mini Lunar New Year's vlog alongside some Lunar New Year doodles, which will be out on Wednesday just in case you want to come back for that. But of course, the story doesn't end there because I told my cousin back in November that we were going to go out to Oaklawn, also known as Gayborhood, if you live in the DFW area. And it just so happened to be the same day all of the celebrations for Lunar New Year was taking place. We didn't want to drive back to my house after we left the New Year's event because that would just be a waste of time and money. So we sat at a diner to have a moment of peace. And I don't know about y'all, but I have a lot of side effects after being anxious for a long period of time. And if you're an anxious person, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. For instance, having the runs. I was on the verge of shitting myself like 5 times. It was awful. I had to run to the bathroom, otherwise I was going to cause a major scene. I am very much an anxious pooper. So while out trying to have fun and encouraging my cousin to embrace himself, I was trying not my pants. So that caused more anxiety and the night just wasn't as fun as what it should have been. And I felt so bad. He also tripped and fell during the drag show, so that dragged a lot of eyes our way. And that made me feel even worse. On top of me not being fun and trying really hard to hold my insides together, he had multiple people all night asking if he was okay. It didn't matter where we went on the strip, people recognized him. He was really embarrassed that a lot of people saw him fall, but we also appreciated all the people who wanted to check up on him. We all thought he might have twisted his ankle, but he's a braver soul than me and wanted to push on. Meanwhile, I wanted to go home because my social battery was running on fumes at this point. If it was an actual battery, it probably would have been at a -7%. However, none of us could really recover after all of that. So we went and got some chocolate chip waffles from Waffle House to make us feel better, and then we all went home and went to bed. I woke up the next day feeling like poop. And I was super drained, but I needed to add music and create the title and thumbnail for my last YouTube video so that I could post it. After several breakdowns, many trips to the bathroom, and lots of stress later, I ended up posting the video. I posted it way later than I had planned, and I didn't even have time to edit a video to be released on Wednesday. So when I woke up Monday morning, I felt like I was the biggest, stinkiest trash in the world. I got my period, I was supposed to film, edit, draw in my sketchbook, get ready for work, but instead, I did what any normal person would do, and I called in and went right back to sleep. I slept half the day and felt way better afterwards. I still was definitely not 100%, but I did have the energy to draw and start on my Meet the Artist post for my art Instagram account. I never considered myself an artist, so I never felt the urge to create one, but I woke up and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Anyways, I'm finally finished with my piece, and here it is. I'm honestly so proud of myself. I definitely had no clue what I was doing, but I think I'm starting to understand how to blend markers and how to use them in more of an effective way than I did before. I had no clue how this drawing was going to turn out, but I'm so proud of this one. I'd definitely hang this up on my wall. She's so cute! I kind of want to scan her and turn her into a sticker so I can take her with me everywhere I go. I may be a digital art girly, but I'm on my way to becoming a traditional art girly too.
Allowing yourself to rest and engage in low energy creativity is very refreshing and healing. Especially after dealing with a lot of social anxiety, which is exactly what I'm gonna go do.
So I'm going to journal about ways I can be more gentle with myself when I feel overwhelmed, and to remember that healing does take time. If you want to join in on the prompts, you're more than welcome to. I hope this video has brought you both comfort and entertainment. Feel free to share your experiences with social anxiety. If you made anything while in a time of healing while watching this video, or just want to share your creations, leave it down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching the second episode of Let Go and Grow. Love y'all. Bye!